Well, it finally happened. Giannis Antetokounmpo has officially been traded to the Miami Heat after what seemed like years of rumors. And the full trade details are: the Heat receive Giannis and Bobby Portis. The Bucks receive Tyler Hero, Kel'el Ware, Jaime Jaquez, Casper Ass, 3 first-round picks, a pick swap, and a second-rounder. And at first glance, this trade seems super interesting because the Heat did have to give up a lot to get Giannis, but also it kind of left their roster a little bit gutted. But the Bucks' return isn't anything crazy to put them right back into contention. Looking at the Heat's roster right after the trade, they got Bam Adebayo, Andrew Wiggins, Norman Powell, Giannis, Davion Mitchell, Bobby Portis, Pele Larson, and Simone Fontecchio. I mean, is it just me, or does this kind of just look like a 5 seed? And looking at the Heat's payroll and contracts as well, they also have to sign back Norman Powell, so he's not even a guarantee to be on the roster next year if they can't get a deal with him. And that's one of the only good shooters on the team. And I don't know if it's just me again, but I feel like the Giannis and Bam duo is not really going to work out. I mean, they both kind of play similar games. They're both paint-dominated players, and I feel like they're going to get in each other's way a little bit. If we remember, Giannis and Brook Lopez back like 5 years ago when they won the championship was a great fit because Brook Lopez could stretch out and shoot the three. He completely transformed his game into being a three-point shooter. So unless Bam Adebayo can add a consistent three-point shot to his game, I don't really know how this is going to work. And I love Davion Mitchell as a player. I think he's a great defender and honestly a really good growing guard, but I just don't feel like he's the long-term fit here at point guard with Giannis and Bam. And if the Heat really want to build a contender around Giannis, they cannot be done this offseason. I feel like they have to make a couple more moves in order to get some shooters and other ball handlers around Giannis. Otherwise, we're just going to be Milwaukee Bucks 2.0 post-championship. And guys, the East is getting a lot better. Every single team I circled here, I feel like is only going to be getting better next season. The Pistons, the Knicks, the Cavs, the Raptors, the Hawks, the Hornets. I mean, even the Pacers having Halliburton come back. You have all of these teams that are only getting better. I don't feel like the Heat, just because they have Giannis now, are a shoo-in for the finals. I just don't. I mean, shoot, maybe even the Wizards could be good next year with Trae Young, Anthony Davis, and AJ DeBonsta, and all their young players that they have been developing over the last couple of seasons. I feel like they could also put up a fight in the East for a playoff spot. I just don't know if the Heat really stack up better than all of these other teams. I don't know, man. And obviously Giannis and Bam and the Heat can prove me completely wrong and go out there and be the 1 seed. I don't know. You never know with a team with Giannis on it. I just don't think the fit is really there, and I feel like the depth took a huge hit as well. I know you had to give up Kel'el Ware and Jaime Jaquez Jr. and all these people to get Giannis, but now the team is kind of gutted, and now you're left with a fit that's not really that good. But let's switch over on gears to the Bucks now. So the Bucks trade out Giannis and Bobby Portis and get back Tyler Hero, Kel'el Ware, Jaime Jaquez Jr., Casper Ass, 3 first-round picks, 1 pick swap, and 1 second-rounder. This is a huge haul. And honestly, I don't hate this for the Bucks, but I also don't love it. There's a lot to get into with this package. They do get some picks back, and obviously they don't control their own first-round picks for the next couple of years because of the Damian Lillard trade. But let's talk about some of the assets that they got in return for Giannis. And looking at their roster right after the trade, this roster is obviously not built for contention anytime soon, but Jaime Jaquez Jr., Kel'el Ware, and Tyler Hero are good players to get back. I mean, this is a decent start back to another rebuild. Tyler Hero was an all-star at one point. At least you're getting some sort of serviceable players back. And a lot of people thought that Jaime Jaquez should have won 6th man of the year last season. He's another good player to have on the team, a role player. He's not going to be a superstar by any means, but he's still a valuable asset to have on your team regardless. And Kel'el Ware, a lot of people call him Baby Walmart Wemby. He's a super young player, and obviously these guys are not superstars by any means, but they're not terrible players to just get back. I mean, I feel like people are just disregarding this package when it's really not that bad. And KJ is a young guard. I mean, he's a big guard out of Illinois. A lot of people thought he was going to be a high lottery pick in his draft class, so you don't know what you could get from him with the right development. You could get something good, maybe a serviceable starter out of him, or better, who knows? And they are also getting the Heat's 13th overall pick in this 2026 NBA draft, which is a super stacked class, stacked to the brim. Could the Bucks maybe package 13 and some other picks or a player to move up in the draft? I feel like that's not out of the realm of possibility here with the draft being tomorrow. And the Bucks also get a bunch of the Heat's 2030 picks, and these could end up being really good. I mean, it's 2026 right now. 4 or 5 years down the line, we have no idea what the team's going to look like. They could be pretty bad, and the Bucks could be benefiting from that heavily. So after really looking at the package the Bucks got back from the Heat trade, I feel like it's really not that bad, and they're kind of set up decently for the next 5 years, maybe even into the 2030s with those picks. Tyler Hero, Jaime Jaquez, Kel'el Ware, KJ, these are decent assets to have, maybe even develop or flip them a few years down the line. Now, another report came out that said the Celtics offered Jaylen Brown and 2 first-round picks for Giannis. The Bucks declined and they went with the Heat's offer. So let's talk about this a little bit. Now, obviously, the Celtics were heavily rumored to get Giannis in all of these trade talks over the past year, and Jaylen Brown was looked to get rerouted to a third team in that deal, or maybe even go straight back to the Milwaukee Bucks. But obviously, the Bucks didn't want that because maybe they thought the Heat package was better than anything they could get from flipping Jaylen Brown or just keeping Jaylen Brown and running it back with their roster with Jaylen Brown subbed in for Giannis. And the Bucks decided to go with the more natural rebuild, getting the picks and young players from the Heat rather than the already MVP caliber player in Jaylen Brown. But then there's also the other lens that we haven't talked about at all this video, is that the Blazers actually have the Bucks picks over the next couple of seasons right when they're kind of entering this rebuild. And with the new tanking rules, this could be huge. And if you haven't heard about the new tanking rules, it basically means if you're a bottom 3 team, your odds are actually worse than if you're a mid-bottom team. And I feel like looking at this Bucks roster, we feel like they're not going to be a bottom 3 team, but they'll be in that mid-bottom team with maximized odds, and those picks are going straight to Portland. So that does take down this trade a little bit more for the Bucks, because since you don't even have your own picks, going through a natural rebuild standpoint is a little odd, because how are you going to rebuild through the draft without your own picks? You have to wait till 2030 to get the Heat's picks, unless you make a deal with the Blazers or something to get your picks back. But I don't know, I just found that very interesting. And I can't just get over this fit in Miami. I mean, I feel like you just have to trade Andrew Wiggins here if you are the Heat. Sorry for jumping back to this, but I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me. You have Bam and Giannis and Andrew Wiggins. You need some more shooting. You need some more on-ball creation in a point guard or someone who can dribble and play make, and it just doesn't make any sense. And I do know that Norman Powell was an all-star, but he's not on the same level as Drew Holiday or even Damian Lillard in that level. He's kind of just a scorer. You know, he can average 20 points per game, but he's not going to be bringing the ball up off the pick and roll, throwing lobs to Giannis and Bam. They need someone. They need a true point guard. Bring back prime Chris Paul for this team. Something like that. I mean, they need something. So I need you guys to look at this final trade, and after this video, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think it was a good trade for the Heat, a good trade for the Bucks, a win-win, a lose-lose? Please let me know. Please subscribe, hype the video, like the video, comment. I love all of you. 10K soon. Peace.